All right, now it is time for the chicken with mushroom balsamic mushrooms. So anyway, it is time for that, and I am super excited to get this recipe on the road because it is super simple. There's very little chopping. There's very little kind of stuff to do. So that makes it a great weeknight dinner. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and turn our stove top on with our cast iron. We're going to drizzle some of that olive oil or avocado oil into the pan. And we're just going to put that aside. We're going to start working on our chicken and getting that ready to go. So I'm going to put the screen down so you can see what I am doing. And let's see. Perfect. All right, so you see here, we've got the chicken. It's got excess skin. This is what I say when I'm asking people to trim. It's just gonna get all that excess off because, well, in some cases the skin can be very good for you. You really don't need all that excess skin. It's gonna get in the way while you're cooking, and you're gonna get annoyed by it. So keep yourself from being annoyed and don't forget to trim it up. All right, these aren't too bad. I've seen worse for sure. All right, so they are trimmed and ready to go. And I'm trimming them in the pan that I'm going to be putting them on later. So get your hands washed. All right, so we have messed with our chicken. Then we're gonna do we're gonna season our chicken. So you're just gonna take a nice sprinkle worth of salt. We're just gonna sprinkle it evenly over every one. Then we also have cardamom in this recipe. This kind of gives it a little bit richer flavor. I have no idea how much I called for. I think it's a teaspoon or maybe a half teaspoon. You're gonna just sprinkle that right over. I dump it in my hand so that way I can sprinkle it a little more evenly. Obviously, I didn't do a great job there, but the goal is to have a nice even sprinkling. Then you can do your pepper. If you just have it already ground, you can sprinkle it. That's the way I really prefer it, but this was what they had at the store for pepper. And might as well use what we got, right? And here's something a lot of people forget to tell you is that flip it over, season both sides. We don't need to be chintzy with our seasoning. It's definitely going to make your food taste a lot better and you will thank me later. So just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit more of that cardamom. And that pan should be heating up so we can go ahead and get these into the pan and we can start working on getting our garlic ready to go and all of our ingredients for the. All right, there we are. All of our ingredients for the mushrooms and the sauce. All right, so we're gonna go ahead because it looks like the oil is getting nice and hot. Yes, see how it shimmers? I don't know if you can see in the camera or not, but it's glowing, it's glistening. That is perfect. And you're just gonna add that chicken right into the pan. Skin side down. All right, so the chicken is added. It is skin side down. That's the part that we want to get nice and crispy and beautiful. And the camera turned off. Uh-oh. Yep, here we are. We're back in action. There we are. Okay. So hopefully that doesn't turn off again, but it might. So we shall see. And I'm washing my hands because my phone is disgusting. I should probably do a sanitation, sanitation wipe or something on it. Okay. All right, chicken is going. So while the chicken is going, we are going to work on our garlic because that's going to be one of the elements that makes our mushrooms taste delicious, as well as our thyme, THYME, not TIME. And that's going to go on at the end, as well as, yeah, that's it. That's all we got. The original recipe on my website does call for green onions just at the end, as well as bacon, but I left that out for just a nice weeknight dinner because that adds an extra time, and weeknights it's too hard sometimes to cook all of those things. So I'm gonna check on these guys, kind of show you the progress. So you should be looking about like that. And I'm gonna touch that to maybe, there you go. There we go. All right, making sure it's awake. Okay, so I'm gonna move the screen so you can see what I'm doing. We're gonna go ahead and chop our garlic. So I like to just take off the little ends sometimes. That's what I'm feeling like right now. And then you're just gonna take your hand, place your knife over the garlic, and you're gonna smash it like that. All right, then you're gonna peel all the stuff off. And then you're gonna hold your fingers like this, and then you're just gonna slice through. Bring everything together. And this should be your third recipe, but just as a refresher, to hold your knife, you're gonna put your thumb on the side that you would naturally put it on, your index finger on the other, and then you're gonna wrap those other three fingers around the handle so that way you can easily handle the knife. And then you're just gonna chop back and forth like this. And if you like to get a little bit more pasty with it and a little bit higher skilled, you can just drag your knife across it. It's gonna bring out those natural juices of the garlic, so it's gonna have that nice sweet taste. A lot of people complain that garlic is bitter, and one of the reasons why is because maybe they're using a dull knife or they're not smashing out all the sweetness from it. All right, so then we're gonna start on our thyme. And we're just gonna hold this aside because this goes in at the very end of the dish. And as you can see, I'm just taking the leaves off and not doing anything super special with it or anything like that. Just trying to make it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. The stems are okay to eat. It's just a lot of people don't love to have little stems in their dish, but really it's okay. All right, we're getting close to getting all that ready to go. All right, I'm gonna sneak over and check on our chicken because what we're looking for is a nice golden brown color on our skin. of the chicken. Yeah, so we're starting to get there. And if you need to, you can rotate. Like this guy is more than that guy. And this guy is more than that guy. And you just rotate it for a minute. And then you'll go back to doing what you need to do. So we're going to go ahead and chop up this time. So hold your hand at the very end of the knife or towards the center. Make sure your fingers are facing up and then just go back and forth like this. And it'll chop it up really quickly. All right, so our thyme is ready to go. Our garlic is ready to go. And that's all the chopping for tonight. So super simple and easy. All right. Now, we're going to go ahead and take this chicken out of the pan. One of mine got a little burn, but that's okay. My stove top is very irregular on how it behaves, so I never know what I'm going to get. All right, now we're just going to put this in the oven. And your oven should already be preheated to 450, I believe. All right, so this has some extra fat in it, like chicken fat, that we may not really want all of that fat. So I do like to drain the chicken fat, especially if stuff has gotten a little burny. We're just gonna pour that in to a heat-proof glass bowl or a metal bowl, whatever you prefer. Do not put it into plastic. That's not great. And I'm going to just add a teeny bit more of the avocado oil. And then I'm going to go ahead and add those mushrooms immediately. One thing I love about these gourmet blend mushrooms is they're already chopped up for you. Again, one of the reasons why I love this dinner for a weeknight dinner. All right, so if you had mushrooms on the earlier breakfast, the frittata, you'll know. Oh dear, I am out again. There we go. We're back up and running. You will know that mushrooms like to get golden brown. And the best way to make them golden brown is to let them just sit there for a little bit. So I added a little bit of salt to it. They're going to go ahead and they're going to get golden brown. And I'm going to wash my hands because I touched my phone again. It keeps cutting out. I'm so sorry about that, y'all. For future renditions of this challenge, I will more than likely refilm this video. But for now, this is what's happening. All right, so oh yeah, we're live. Okay, I think. No, we're not. Hello. Okay, well, I'm just gonna turn on the video. Or not. Oh dear. There we are. Ah. Okay, we're up and running again. I think. Although now my stand is being weird. Okay. Great. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm adding the green beans into the pan back here. I know this seems like a little bit more dishes than you'd want to wash, but the great thing about steaming is that it really doesn't take, like, it's just a quick rinse and a wash. It only takes like 2 minutes to clean, and you can throw the steamer part in, or you can follow the microwavable instructions and just throw it in the microwave and call it a day. I am not using all of my green beans, so I am choosing to use the pan and steaming them. So just add a little bit of salt over that. You're gonna turn it on high, and it's probably gonna take about 6-7 minutes for the green beans to get tender and delicious. I usually prefer the French green beans, but they did not have any, or actually they looked rotten at the store. So I got the regular, which is something like if you don't have exactly what we're asking for, you can substitute. I mean, what if you want asparagus with this instead of green beans? That's fine. Just roast them in the oven or steam them or whatever you would prefer to do. All right, so I'm going to stir up my mushrooms a little bit because it's time. All right, we're gonna let those sit for a little bit more so they get more tender. And then we are going to get, oh, where's my broth? There we are. Our chicken broth and our balsamic vinegar going. So I thought I had a measuring device, but I do not. So it's about a 1/4 cup of the chicken broth. Probably putting more than I need to in there. And we're just gonna add it to the pan. Gonna soften the mushrooms a little bit more. And I forgot to add the garlic. I got distracted with my phone problems. But we can add it in, it'll be great. See, that's one thing that if you mess up, you can still add the ingredient, just throw it in there, it's fine. It'll be great. I hear so many people, and then you're gonna add your balsamic, it's about 2 tablespoons. You're just gonna let that reduce. And lastly, we're gonna add our butter, and then our mushrooms are gonna be ready. Like, that's it. Super, super easy. And the chicken is working, which should take a few more minutes. Then we're gonna add the butter. I like to add the butter just kind of all over in the pan, just so that way the butter melts. More evenly dispersed, I guess, is the best way to put it. All right, and then we're gonna add our thyme, and that is the last thing for our mushroom. All right. There they are. These look perfect. And I'm gonna cut that off and move my pan off so that way the glaze doesn't completely disappear. And now I'm gonna pause the video, let the green beans and the chicken finish cooking, and I will see y'all when I'm ready to show off the finished product. All right, so it looks like the green beans are ready and the chicken. So let's get that chicken out of the oven. Maybe not, because my hot pad is wet. Be careful about that. Your hot tub, if it is wet, will burn you. So we have our chicken. Look at that. It is cooked through all the way. And we got nice crispy skin, which is what we're looking for, as well as I did burn a little bit, but the skin is really crispy and the chicken is cooked all the way through, which is what matters here. Our green beans are nice and fork tender. So as you can see, they're stabbed really easily, but they're not overcooked. They're not mushy. That is what we're looking for. One thing about my parents' generation, which you might experience this too, is that they love to overcook their vegetables. Why? I do not know. But they would cook them to the point they were just mush and gross. And so there's a lot of people, especially my age, in our 40s, who hate vegetables because their parents overcook their vegetables. So what we're looking for is an al dente vegetable. It has a little bit of bite to it, but it is still very fork tender. All right, so you're gonna serve that up. You're gonna have your chicken, a little bit of mushrooms, a little bit of green beans, and dinner is ready. So happy, I believe this is Wednesday night for you. So happy Wednesday night. Bye now.